Hello, everyone. This is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, Lore and Frey, and the upcoming Jaw of the Dragon. So this is going to be a great year for Nintendo Switch. I just recorded a video talking about that. But the reason I'm talking about this, the reason I wanted to make it very clear that 2023 was going to be a great year for the Switch, is that most commentators, people on Twitter, people on YouTube, like the usual suspects, are going out of their way to try and pretend, as they have been since like 2017, that it's not true, that it's impossible, that Switch is on the way out, that the new consoles are far eclipsing it, that Game Pass is the biggest thing ever, that PS5 is the biggest thing ever. They both have 30 million units sold, man. Like they're throwing out all the stops to make it seem like Nintendo is desperate. They can't compete with Skyrim, with Starfield, with The Last of Us Part 3, with God of War Ragnarok, with Horizon Forbidden West, with Elden Ring. I remember hearing people say say that Nintendo was scared of Elden Ring, which is laughable to me. Um, I I remember just these guys are always going to do the same thing. It's always going to be Nintendo. It's always going to be talking about how Nintendo is going bankrupt, how they're irrelevant, how they're not going to like be able to keep selling Switches, and it's just not true. It's not in sync. It's not like aligned with reality at all. There is absolutely no way that the Switch is going to drop off in popularity. This is a Game Boy situation in which there are technically a lot of like more powerful competitors in the market, but because of the price point, because of the game library, because of like the appeal of the Switch, it's going to remain extremely popular. It is going to remain the best, not only extremely popular, but by far the most successful console on the market. And that's kind of where we're at now, where Valve fanboys, the steampunks, the Xbox, and the the Snoys, right? I don't actually have a funny nickname for the Xbox. Let's see, Xbox Series X. Like, how about the Xbox Serious Stars? I don't know. I can't come up with anything. I'll have to think about that. But Xbox is so irrelevant that I don't even really think about them. PlayStation is so irrelevant. I don't even really think about them. If it wasn't for a handful of hardcore steampunks who are like constantly commenting on my channel and trying to like um pretend I'm insane or something for pointing this stuff out, like I wouldn't be talking about Valve either. Like these companies simply can't exist. Like the same people who are telling you that Nintendo hasn't put out anything relevant in years is like praising the Steam Deck and Valve. The company that hasn't put out a Half-Life game since 2008, was it? Like episode 2. I know some people will defend Alex, but like Alex wasn't very good. Let's be real. I I don't see any. It's going to be a slow, gradual decline for PlayStation, Xbox, and Valve. They have the brand recognition, they have like legions of dedicated fanboys, they have their casual audience, but like, I don't think they're going to be able to beat Nintendo. Like, it's simply not possible. Nintendo has like several high quality partners at this point. They have companies like Monolith Soft, they have Next Level Games, they have Retro, they have, Game Freak pumping out like the most successful video game IP in the world. They have their like internal subsidiaries. They have like their internal development teams. They have HAL. They have like these companies that are constantly doing better and better and pumping out like, you know, bigger and better games that have been like constantly improving on themselves for like 20 years at this point. Like I have been taken aback at how much better Kirby has gotten over the past 20 years. Like comparing Forgotten Land to 64 is just insane. It's like just think about how ridiculous it is that in 22 years we went from this kind of middling 2D platformer on the N64 to like this gorgeously rendered 3D action adventure game, one of the best in the entire franchise. Like I loved Forgotten Land. Just like I love Legends Arceus, just like I love Pokemon Scarlet, just like I love like all these other games that I've been playing. Just like, and it's not just Nintendo. That's the thing, is that I've noticed that indie games, companies that develop games like Sifu, like Neon White, like Vanillaware. I don't like calling Vanillaware indie, but like companies like that, Platinum Games, like companies that are smaller in scale that aren't putting out like big AAA productions that are just pushing out products to a niche audience, they are becoming viable again. That dark age period where like Japanese developers couldn't like put out HD products in a costly in a profitable way. That's over. We're kind of at that point now where the market has kind of adjusted and companies are putting out like really solid, really great, engaging, unique experiences. Stuff like 13 Sentinels. Like I know a lot of people like are kind of iffy on 13 Sentinels for a lot of reasons, but like that was one of my favorite games of 2022, right? 13 Sentinels was awesome. And of course, like, Sifu, Neon White, I played Origami 2 recently, River City Girls 2. Like, we're at that point now where these companies can just put out like high quality niche products for gamers. Like that's the reality is that we are in the position now where it's viable again to make games for gamers. We're no longer in that phase where where developers are just throwing money at a product to make sure it has like the best possible graphics and like open world settings and that'll like sell it to like the masses. No, like we are getting games like River City Girls 2. We are getting games like Origami, like 13 Sentinels. Like Arms, like lower budget games from like highly successful studios that know that they have a niche audience that would really really enjoy something like it. And because of that, because like gamers are are kind of evolving and kind of moving past this mindset of games needing to have high quality graphics. I think more and more we're going to see people start to make the shift to playing exclusively on Switch hardware because there's no benefit to gaming on PC. There's no benefit to playing on Xbox or PlayStation, right? The Switch has the most features. It's the best hardware, the most popular hardware. It has all of this it has all of these bells and whistles that just make the experience the ideal one for the gamer, right? So as a result of that, why wouldn't you exclusively support that console? Now it won't be automatic, and I imagine most people won't really like think about it, but I do think we are going to kind of reach that point where like people release where Microsoft and Sony release a new platform like the Xbox Series X2 or something, like their new iPhone revision. People they're hyping it up, they're talking about it, and you're gonna see more people just being like, "Nah, I'm good." Like my Xbox is collecting dust. It plays all the same games. If something comes out, I'll play it, but I'll just like leave it plugged in. A decade goes by, they turn it on, they'll play a movie on it or whatever, and they realize, oh, it's broken. And so it goes in the trash and they never get another one. Right? That's kind of what I expect is happening now is that people are buying these consoles out of habit, out of obligation, out of like an expectation that these platforms are going to someday be good, someday have some merit. But the reality is like they're just sitting around doing nothing while everyone is playing the Switch. Everyone is like watching anime. Everyone's just, reading books by Cody Lee, right? They're not playing PlayStation because there are no games. Like there's just nothing on PS5 or Xbox Series X that's worth getting excited for or caring about. And when you have no games, you cannot sell a video game platform.